Hello everyone, you may be wondering, why aren't we in the recording already? Why don't we watch, why isn't the PowerPoint up, why isn't he doing that? Well, unfortunately the recording started a few seconds later than the workshop started, so let me provide a little bit of context. This workshop is originally meant for Toastmasters on how to get the club website from zero to hero, but it can be used for anybody, no matter what age or stage you're at with your business or stuff like that. For those of you that don't know me, and why wouldn't you if you are watching this video, my name is Gregory Hammond. I am currently the Division E webmaster, as well as a member of Ajax Pippin Toastmasters. These slides are available as a link in the description, wherever that may be. My email address is going to be on the slideshow, so you can always email me if you have any questions about this, since the comments are going to be turned off. I'm going to try and make this workshop accessible to everybody, so if you're more technically inclined, some of the stuff may go, oh yeah, I already know that, but I still hope no matter what age or stage you're at, you can learn from this.
I hope you will still get something out of this workshop. And most of what I'm going to say can also be used outside of Toastmasters. So if you have your own business or anything like that, these tips can be used there as well. Now, if somebody can't find your club online, it most likely doesn't exist. I'm going to repeat that again. If somebody can't find your club online, your club most likely doesn't exist. We live in a digital age, and people are using technology more and more to find the things they need. Heck, we're all here in Zoom. This is digital. We're all finding things that we need, and we need to keep up with that. The only exception to this is corporate clubs. As part of a corporate club, you may still want to have a social media presence, since nobody spends 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at work. However, Chris will talk about that in more detail during her workshop. Now, let's say you lived in Coburg and you wanted to join a Toastmasters club. You heard about this thing called Toastmasters, and you want to find out more information and join a local club. What would you do? Most likely, go to Google Coburg Toastmasters or Toastmasters near me. And, well, that's what I did. I decided to Google Coburg Toastmasters and see what results came up. The first result for me was the club website, which is great because then it tells people, hey, we have an online presence, our website exists, here's more information. As a brief reminder, please mute yourself if you're not talking. And the second link that I got was the meeting information and directions page, which is great because it tells people how to come to their meeting. If people don't know how to come to your meeting, then how are they supposed to come to a meeting in the first place? The third result I got was the Toastmasters International, or TI website, which is great because it allows the brief information about the club, some links to some more information, and most prominently, the time and date they are meeting. Because then it tells people, okay, here's the time and date we meet, here's how to contact the club. And if the time and date doesn't work out for you, Toastmasters International knows of some clubs nearby that may be on different times that may work better for you. Now, you may think people don't do this. People don't just simply Google Toastmasters near me or whatever, say they're in Toastmasters. Well, I know for a fact they do because I did. That's how I found the club, my home club, Ajax Pippin Toastmasters. I Googled Ajax Toastmasters because that's where I live, and I went to a couple of different club websites, and I looked through what each website had, where it was meeting, and when it was meeting, and who was in the club. I'm just going to pause for a brief second. Let's see. Reminder to everybody, please mute yourself because I hear some sort of noise in the background. Thank you. That's it again, but let's continue. Let's hope, Chris, could you please mute that person who is talking, who is making that noise? I would appreciate that. Sure, you can use social media, but if someone is searching on a social networking site that your club isn't on, then your club won't come up. Yes, they may see what members are posting, but if your club doesn't have an official presence, people won't be able to find more details on that club. You also don't own what is on your club's social media. Yes, you do not own what is on your Facebook page or Facebook group, but you do own what is on your club website, so make use of that. There are many ways to create a Toastmasters website, and there are so many options you can be overwhelmed by them. So, what do you choose? There are two very popular options available for Toastmasters clubs. There is, which many people have heard, free Toast host. That's available at toastmastersclubs.org. That is free and tends to be used by a majority of Toastmasters clubs. The second option is also WordPress for Toastmasters at wp4toastmasters.com. That is free for the first 6 months and $30 per year afterwards. There are other non-Toastmasters focused website platforms such as Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, whatever, and they work just as well, sometimes providing more features. But sometimes people just want an easy-to-use platform that is branded with Toastmasters, so they choose one of those options. And as always, each club is different, so choose what works best for you and your club. Just make sure it is easy enough for anybody in your club or even new people who come in to be able to use with instructions. As I said, there are so many options you can be overwhelmed. So what do I suggest you start with? Consider starting with free Toast host. It tends to be used by majority of clubs, so people can help you if you get stuck, as long as you can explain what your issue is. There is also a great forum on free Toast host, which I'm sure some people in this workshop have gone to, that says that you can explain your problem and people from around the world can help you completely free of charge. You don't have to pay for support, which is great. If you are using that and you need some help, I have gathered and created a number of documents on using free Toast host. A link to that is in the Google Drive folder that you were sent, and it is also in the Google Drive link that has been posted in the chat. As with every website platform, free Toast host has its limitations. And a number of years ago, in fact, free Toast host, wow, I'm getting my names mixed up, decided that they wanted to set it so that it looked good on every single device, no matter what device you were using, which was great. But then the problem was that everybody who was using free Toast host, I know it's a mouthful, had to log in and change up their sites, change up their images to make it look good. People were frustrated. People did not know how to do that, and people were just confused. However, in the long term, it was a good thing, because now, no matter which free Toast host site you go to, it should look good on any single device. Now, every club website should be unique and should be slightly different. However, there are many things that all club websites should have. Every club website should have the club name. Please put your club name front and center so that people know they're on the right site, and it helps to be better through sites like Google. You must have at least one link to a map of where your club meets. Please don't just say the location. Show how to get there. Tell people in as much detail as possible on how to get to your club meeting. And I don't just mean go in the front door, then go down these stairs and traverse these staircases. No, I mean get as detailed as possible. That means telling people where to park. Okay, when you've parked, you want to go straight until you see this building, then go left, then go in these doors, go right, sign in at this desk, then go left, then go right, and then go left some more. Get as detailed as you can. I'd also encourage you to include public transit and walking directions. I know, you may be thinking, what? We don't need that. I encourage you to put that on because you never know who might need that. Also, you might want to consider putting pictures of your club. What makes your club so good? And why do people want to see other people's faces? Because people like to see faces. That's why in Zoom we do face calls, not just do audio calls. Some options could be like a group picture, or you can have some like a members page. It all depends on your club. And as I've said before, each club is different, so make your website a little bit unique. Put on some web pages that people might not see on other club sites, or put whatever you want on your site. I would encourage you, however, to talk to your executive team and members and see what ideas they have and what stuff they want on their site. Because honestly, you're just administrating the site. But if you have some ideas, then put them up there. Because the worst thing you can do is take them down. People ask me all the time, should I really put my contact information on the club website? I don't want it to be public. And well, yes, you should put your contact information on the website. How you do this depends on you and your club. What I have seen many clubs do is a contact form that then gets emailed to multiple executive teams, such as the VP PR, the VP of Education, and the President. But again, you can do what works best for your club. You could also put up a phone number. Now, I know you may be thinking, don't I have to answer the phone when it goes off? No, you don't have to answer it. Let it go to voicemail and then get you or another executive team to answer a voicemail. And again, do what contact information works best for not only the VP of PR, but the club as well. Now, you may be thinking, there's so many things I can go on this website, but what ultimately should I decide that goes on there? Well, what should go on there depends on, I'm losing my place on my notes, there we go, the purpose of your website. The purpose of your website can decide what goes on your website. It could be a site for the general public that explains what Toastmasters is and how to come to your club. It could also be a site for members that includes special downloads. Or another option is a site that hosts your videos. If you're unsure of what your website purpose is, talk it over with other members of your executive team. See what ideas they have, and ask your members what they want to see on their site. Because ultimately, again, you're just the administrator, but you can make the website so that people keep coming back to it. As I have said, club websites can have more than one purpose. As an example, this is the Ajax Pickering Toastmasters website, and it has two purposes. If you're not logged in, then you see the image on the left. The target audience is someone who is interested in not only the club, but in Toastmasters in general. It includes how to come to a meeting, frequently asked questions, membership information, and many more similar things. If you are a member and you do have a login, then you get access to not only what the general public has, but you get access to the members only things, such as a reminder of the Toastmasters promise, because let's face it, we all need that every once in a while. A link to what each club executive does and their email address. There is also how to get help with pathways, because let's face it, pathways is now going to be mandatory for everybody soon. So some people may still have trouble with it. So that's something you may want to add. A lot of people love to view their club's DCP points. So why not have a link to that? Because then people can go to the club website and view the DCP points. There's also some member frequently asked questions and many other things. Again, a site can have more than one purpose. It all depends on what you and your club want. At this time, I'm going to ask if you have any questions about what I've talked about so far, to please put them into the group chat and make sure it is set to everybody. My workshop is not over at this time, but I want to get some questions. I want to get some questions answered about what I've talked about so far. There will also still be time for questions after Grace's workshop. I'm going to limit each question to answer in about a minute, so that we can continue with the workshop. Chris, as moderator this morning, do we have any questions?
We do have some questions starting, Gregory. The first one is sorry, is the website responsive?
That is a great question. And I'm just making sure that my notes are out of order. I really have to make sure that my notes are there we go. My notes be out of order. So my notes are out of order. I can't see what's coming up. That is one thing that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on making a website look responsive. So I will answer that question in my workshop a little bit later.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. Who is the best to be the club website master, and who should be the backup?
That is a great question. And that is based on your club. My particular club, we have the website administrator be the VP of PR, because that's just what we've designated the VP of PR to do. But again, we've got the backup set to be the club president. But again, it depends on you and your club. You may want the president to be the site administrator, or the VP of PR to be the backup. Or you may just want to have a separate role, quote unquote executive role, that is just to handle the website if the VP of PR or nobody else from the executive team wants to handle that.
Okay. Does Free Toast Host allow you to include a temporary banner for COVID-19 and location changes?
Yes, it does actually, and I don't see any clubs actually using it, which is very interesting. In Free Toast Host, I'm trying to remember exactly how to do it because I don't have it up right now. But if you are the site administrator, you can log in and you can add a banner to the top of the website. And I know many clubs use it to promote contests or things like that. If you are interested in that, how to do that is in the documents that I have gathered, or if you have any particular question on that, you can always email me directly and I can maybe help guide you. But again, I'm currently not right now the VP of PR or the site administrator for any club, so I cannot directly step by step tell you. I can just simply give you the documents on how to do so.
Thank you. And one last question. How do you change members on the introduction page? Previous members.
For Free Toast Host or for a particular platform? Because in Free Toast Host in particular, when you go into add a member, there is usually on the right hand side, you can change the group in which the members are part of. So you could say guest, full member, stuff like that. But if you're using something else like Easy Speak or WordPress for Toastmasters, then you will have to go through their own support documents on how to figure that out. Unfortunately, I don't have that, so I can't. I'm not the expert in that, so I can't give you exact step-by-step directions for those things.
Okay, terrific. I think that's it for questions right now.
All right. If I did not get to your question, or again you wanted to be a private conversation, but that is fine. You can always simply email me, because then again I'm sort of here to help you for at least a little while. But let's continue with the workshop. Of course I hit skip. Of course I hit back to my PowerPoint and it goes to the next slide. Oh well, we continue. Now it's time to talk about website tips, tricks, and other things to make a good club website. As always, this depends. Do what works best for you and your club. One of the questions was about having a site administrator and a backup. That is a great tip. Have two people who have the website login because that way, if one person forgets it, or that one person can't log in, then the other person can do so. Again, that depends on who in your club you want to set that up. You want to do that. If you can, consider having more than one way to contact your club. Some people don't like to use email. Some people don't want to pick up the phone. So if you have more than one way, it encourages people to contact your club. I've seen many clubs do, say, a contact form and an email address, or do a contact form and a phone number. Again, it depends on you and your club and what your website platform has set up and is currently be able to do. If your club has social media, which Grace will talk about why during her workshop, so I'm not going to get into that, then put a link to it on your website. People will go to your club website and go, oh, you're on Facebook, you're on whatever, oh, I should go in and see what a message page will follow you and see what is being posted and see what your members are posting, because it is great to have a corporate account and then be able to just see posts from the club. But if members can see, if the general public can see other members' posts, then they know who they are, and then they know if they're true, they know they're being honest. Make sure your website is updated. A question was going about doing the banner for COVID. Many websites, and I have checked the majority of your club websites, don't mention anything about meeting virtually and how to join that meeting. So please, I encourage you after this workshop to go to your club website and see if it mentions anything about meeting virtually. If there is nothing, no banner, no message, no nothing, then go log in and change it. If you don't have the login to be able to change it, contact your executive team and encourage them to change it. A site does not need to be constantly updated or burnout will happen. I know for a fact because I have been burned out updating a website too many times. Just update your website as major things change. COVID, you're going back to meetings, if you're taking a couple weeks off, whatever you may do. Consider also adding some sort of analytics, like Google Analytics. Many of us have Gmail accounts. Google Analytics is free and included with your Gmail account. This way you can see how many people are coming to your club website, how they found your site, and where in the world they're located. Because who knows, you might have people from the other side of the world going to your club website. Or you might have people in the next town or city coming to your club website. You won't know unless you set up analytics. Many of these platforms, Free Toast Host, WordPress for Toastmasters, allow you fairly easily to set up, to add these analytics. So go do it. Of course, if you don't like Google, and some of us don't, or you want to try an alternative, there are many alternatives that you could search around for. Just Google. Why would you Google it? Go to a search engine and type in alternatives to Google Analytics. There are some free alternatives and there are some paid alternatives. Some of them require more technical expertise and some of them you can do quite easily. Again, you might have to play around with the analytics, but that way you know how people are coming to your website. Now, we all live in a digital age, but what is one device we all carry with us? Chris, at this time, I'm asking you to put up the poll. So very shortly, you will see a poll, and I'm going to ask you to please vote in that poll. What is one device we all carry with us? The options are cell phone, modem, TV remote, and extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to ask you to please vote, and we will give a second for people to submit the votes. Chris, if you could please let me know when we have a majority of votes, I would appreciate that. All right, thank you, Chris. Now, Chris, could you please show the results of the poll, or if we can wait a moment for more people to do that so that we can get people who may be a little bit slower. Cell phone! Hey, the majority of people actually look at the slides, which is great. And a couple of people voted for TV remote. Hey, that is one device we all carry with us when we're at home, isn't it? But in the case of websites, it is a cell phone. How does your club website look on your phone? You may need to log in and adjust your club website. Space out the text, change images up, or do whatever. Remember that the site not only needs to be functional on a cell phone, but needs to serve its purpose. As I talked about earlier, your website needs to serve its purpose. Please don't just use your phone. Ask another executive team or ask your members to pull up the club site on their phone, and ask for any suggestions or comments. I'm going to say this because a lot of people don't realize this. Your website will not look exactly the same on every single phone because not everybody has the same phone. So yes, the image may look a little squished or it may look a little different, but as long as the site can fulfill its purpose and be functional, then you have a good club website. Of course, come on, there we go. Technology sometimes. You gotta live with it. Now, I'm surprised the question has not come up about I already have a club website, but I don't have the login for it. And well, I've already helped a number of people who are actually in the Zoom with that. And don't worry if you're one of those people, be glad to help you, glad to get your website back in. It all depends on what platform you are using. Each one of them has their own way to get the login. If you are using free Toast host, or I'm just going to shorten out FTH, I have created a bunch of documentation step by step on how to get the login for your website. It is in the Google Drive folder, and hopefully that can help you with that. Now, you may have come across old club websites, and you may be thinking, should we try to get a login for this, or should we create a new site? It depends. Does that old website have lots of content, and is that content still relevant? Then you may want to try and find a login for that site. If not, or the site is so out of date that people will go, that's not the club anymore, then you may want to consider creating a new site. But again, do you want to spend time trying to get the login, or do you want to create a website? It depends on what you want to do and what is on that site. And before you ask, no, I cannot just magically give you your password. I do not have any special powers, and I cannot hack into a web platform for you. People have asked, but I can't. I really cannot. I do not have these magical computer powers that I can just magically get stuff for you. I also do not have the direct email contact for any website platform. That means if you need help with something and I can't help you, you need to go through the normal support methods. I cannot directly including an email, the CEO of whatever your platform. You have to go through normal support methods because let's face it, you're just another customer to them. Many people don't care or don't think about accessibility when working on a website. It's something every club and every website should care about. You may be thinking, why should we care about accessibility? Nobody in our club has any sort of disability. I think you're mistaken. 1 out of every 5 Canadians have 1 or more disabilities. That's according to the Stats Canada public release. Just because you don't see it does not mean they don't have a disability. Again, 1 out of every 5 Canadians have one or more disabilities. And I found this post on social media last year, and I keep sharing it with people in regards to accessibility. And I read it for people who cannot read, who cannot see it fully on the slideshow. Quote, when someone is unable to use something, it is the environment we've created that makes the user disabled. When thought is put into all different types of user journeys, those limitations disappear. Accessibility isn't really about accommodation. It's about making a product that works. End quote. Now, you may read and go, shoot, we really have to make our website more accessible. How do we do that? How do we do that? First of all, calm yourself. And I encourage you to please don't pull up another tab and Google website accessibility, because you could spend hundreds of years, yes, hundreds of years, reading all these articles and watching all these videos on making your website accessible. I encourage you to, there are some simple things you can do to make your website more accessible. Number one, choosing a font that is easy to read. You may notice on my slides the font's easy to read. That's because I chose a font that's classified as an accessible font. You number two, make the font big enough for everybody to read, not just some people, for everybody to read. That may mean you have less text on your page. That is fine. As long as the text serves its purpose, then make it as big as you need for everybody to be able to read it. Number three, make sure the font can be read against the background. In my slide's case, I have a white background on black text, which is the ultimate easy to read. But if you decide to play around with different colors, then you may go, oh, that may not be easy to read. Consider making it easy to read. Yes, your site may be boring to some people, but boring is fine as long as people can read it. And there are many other things you can do to make your website more accessible. But I encourage you to start with those, because I don't want to overwhelm you. And then you could go, okay, we'll start from there. And then if we have more questions, we can contact Gray, or we can search on our own. Now, I know I've given you a lot to think about, and some of you will probably have many questions, because I've already seen some questions pop in, or you may want some help. There will be a combined Q&A at the end of Grace's workshop, so some of your questions will be able to get answered then. If I don't get to your question, or you don't want to publicly ask it, then you can always email me. My email address is on the next slide. After July 1st, I'm officially no longer the division webmaster, but that doesn't mean I can't answer the odd question. At this time, I am not sure who the next division webmaster will be, as our incoming division director, Jennifer, has not publicly said who that will be yet. And I honestly don't mind her not publicly saying that. If you are using free Toast, again, FTH, there are so many documents that I have put together on how to do almost anything on that website platform that you could spend years reading those documents. That is in the Google Drive folder. The link is in the chat, or you should have got 3 invites. I've spent a lot of time putting together those documents, and I've tried to make them as easy as possible, and some go into great detail, so those should be able to help you. I also encourage you to use the forums on the website platforms that there are, because there are people who can help you. I have even gone in on sometimes my spare time to help people from around the world with their club websites. I've helped people in France. I've helped people in all around the world. So if you have questions, or you feel like helping people, create an account on the FTH forums and help people. Again, it may take some time to get a response, but just because it may take time, that doesn't mean there aren't people looking at it. I have to plead with you to please don't, I said please don't go to Toastmasters International. Do not go to TI for help with your club website. They don't run any club, division, district, or whatever websites. They run their own sites. They will just simply tell you to go to the regular support methods. Because let's face it, if they tried to help every single club, they would be overwhelmed. That is it in my workshop. The full slides are available for download or review, or I encourage you to send a link to your income executive team because these can be helpful for them. Thank you all so much for your time.
We do have one question that would probably be well answered now, Gregory, and that relates to photos on Free Toast Host.
Yes, go ahead.
The question is, what is the correct dimensions for the photos? They look squashed on some sites, including the Ajax site. Dimensions and other specifics would be welcome.
Squashed, yeah. So unfortunately, again, I'm not the current administrator for Ajax Pickling Toastmasters, so I don't have the login for that.
Do you have dimensions or best practices, though? I think that's what they're looking for.
Yes. In this case, I would suggest you don't want specific dimensions. You don't want it by certain pixels or by certain inches. What you want is by percentage. So, for example, let's say the big image on your homepage. I don't know the exact percentage, so you have to play around with that. But start with, say, 50% width and 50% height, and then adjust it as you see fit. Unfortunately, with Free Toast Host, you cannot really view it very well before you hit save, but then you can hit save, see how it looks, and then adjust it again. Again, it takes some trial and error to make those images look good, specifically with Free Toast Host, but that doesn't mean that you can't just play around with it as you see fit and make the images look good. They won't be perfect, but that doesn't mean you can't try.